to our Next Level Suite training. We're on the second Thursday of the month, so we are privileged to have Dave Jenks, the Dean of Master Networks University, on the line with us today. He's going to take us through how to build your marketing value proposition. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dave.
Thank you, Sherry. It's good to be here, and thank you, everyone. Thank you for the Next Level Suite users that are on this training. It is a very valuable opportunity, and today I really want to talk about what I've learned over my 35 plus years in the world of business and marketing and building big organizations and starting and helping people build small local businesses into bigger ventures. So Sherry, if you'll pop to our first slide, then I will get us dived in. The first thing to understand is that there's some fundamentals of marketing. So what I want to do today is I want to kind of at the front end show fundamentals of marketing and how to get started. Then the core of it will be building the value proposition. And then I want to summarize at the end some things that are very critical. The thing to remember about marketing is that it's something you build over time. It's not something you buy from somebody in the sense of go out, oh, be my marketing company. Typically, for most of us who are entrepreneurs and business owners, we have to drive our own marketing. We can get some talent, we can get some services like graphic, we can get some consulting, we can get some technology like Sherry has with Next Level Suite. But what we have to do is become marketeers ourselves, because every business is really two businesses. It's the business, the technical thing that you provide, the service or product, the store, the operation. What people really plug into from you, there's that. And then there's getting the opportunity to do that with more and more people, which is really about promotion and marketing. So the first part of it is to understand is that you want to build over time your strong, credible value proposition. That is the core of it. It's understanding not only what you provide and how you provide it and why it's valuable and what people get, but how to articulate that and then how to put it out in the way of attracting offers that come so that people who have a need for your service in your local area will come to you, and people who you know and who know you will spread the word about you, the word of mouth. But you have to give them the words to spread for the word of mouth. So it also all comes, of course, from your commitment to customer service. So always you're focused on what do my customers need, what service can I provide, how can I do it better than anyone else that's in my category, how can I make sure that people understand that's what I'm doing, and then how can I use that as part of my marketing value proposition. Then at the core of all of this, which is why we're doing this training as part of Next Level Suite, is you must have a database. And Master Networks and Sherry and Chaz and Dr. Ed have gone to the research and trouble to put together a fundamentally strong CRM, customer relations management. That's the technology of this database system for you to keep track of your clients, your prospects, and the people you want to communicate with so that you can do it systematically. I'll talk more about that, but it is one of the most important steps you can take in your business. Then you build out of your value proposition and to that database effective messaging and lead generation that will attract people to you and have them come back and do more business with you. Of course, the fundamental game, this is why we say this in Master Networks, it's the building of relationships. It's using the bond method. It's using your relationships with other business people through Master Networks that expands your network to a greater number of people in your community, and then of course, the fundamental thing is that to that database of people, through your value proposition, you are consistently and frequently communicating your message of service and making offers and reminding them you're in that business. So when they think of your business category, whatever that category is, they think of you. You're the one they think of, and you're the one they send people to. Now, on the next slide, what we really want to focus in is kind of the fundamentals of how you build this. And I just want to remind you, as I did at the beginning of my training last month, that there are really 6 steps. One is you got to build your knowledge. And Master Networks University is committed to helping people, our members, grow in their knowledge of business, the 5 business disciplines, and in marketing. Number 2 is you get to practice it in your chapter meetings with your sound bites and your presentations and asking for business and making offers. And the chapter meeting becomes a great practice place for your value proposition. It's where you play with words and you ask people how this sounds, and you make yourself memorable. I mean, you cannot beat the impact of chapter meetings in terms of crafting your marketing message. And then, of course, you plug into the technology you need to do it. And the most cost-effective technology that's available to people who are members of Master Networks is Next Level Suite. Right here, what Sherry is overseeing and helping happen. And then, of course, an extension of that is Next Level Consulting. And my specific business partner, Tina Campbell, and I do Next Level Coaching and Consulting in the area of marketing, exactly what we're talking about today. And then, of course, you want to start to bring in some people in your business, and one of the most important people to bring in first in your business is administrative people, people who can run your database, who can do the data entry, who can take the lists of people you know and get it in there, who can take what you learn from people when you meet with them and you keep on a voice recorder, or you give them a set of notes and they put that in your database, so you have this growing rich population of people you can be in touch with and information about them that allows you to be in touch with them. Then finally, the element of it is that you put it on your calendar. As somebody once said, you don't have a goal unless it hits your calendar. So you don't have a goal to be a marketing, have a marketing operation until you have on your calendar days that mailers are going out, that your newsletter is going out, that your offer is going out, that your responses are going out to the people who are in your pipeline, as we call it, your people who are coming toward you, the pipeline of people who are turning from suspects into prospects, into appointments, into business. You want to keep track of that, and you want to have a regular calendar of planned, scheduled marketing and lead generation activities. Now, if you turn and go to the next slide, Sherry, what I want to share with people is that is the core of building a value proposition. Now, here's one thing to understand. There's a difference between you as a local business owner, an entrepreneur dealing with a service or product that is going to a local population. You're very different from a big corporate, bureaucratic, big marketing-driven company. And don't confuse the two, because they have a different goal. They're branding, and they're branding on a broad base, and they have a big budget, and they do a lot of marketing. And they have all kinds of creative people building ads and promotions. That's not you. Yours is built on more personal, warm, and close, heartfelt relationships locally in your community, which is why Master Networks is so powerful for people to be a part of, because it plugs them into a wider base of people in their community. And when you're a local entrepreneur, that's where your target market is. That's what we call the second business discipline, targeting. And marketing is part of that, because all marketing has to do with knowing who your target audience is, who they are, where they are, what they need. Now, building your value proposition. You do this over time, and you become a master of words and phrases and concepts that articulate or make clear your business, its purpose and mission, and what you do, okay, and the benefit people get. That's the fundamental thing you're doing in building a value proposition. Now, it's not just one or two words, or it's not just a clever phrase, or it's not just one graphic. It's building a rich understanding of your value. See, and so you can talk about your value anywhere you are. You can do it in a short form, you can do it in a long form, you can show it graphically, you can quote other people. So building, the reason I'm saying this is because some people want to do it too quickly. In other words, they think, oh, I just need to get a clever advertising thing. Oh, I need to go to an ad agency, or I need to go to some service, and they'll make something nice and quick and graphical for me. Well, there are graphical services, and there are people who can provide good consulting. But the truth is that you have to build your own value proposition. And that's what you have to do. And you'll get good at it, and you'll become a marketeer. So the first thing we do is start to write down, what is the purpose and mission of your business? And I mean this in a way like, why do you exist? If you didn't exist, what wouldn't be provided? Because you do exist, what do people have access to? What is it that you do? When I was with Keller Williams, I mean, what we realized was that our purpose wasn't to do real estate, because that was what our real estate agents did. Our purpose was to be a training and consulting company for our agents to be successful. So our purpose and mission was to build careers worth having and businesses worth owning. See, that was our purpose and mission. We got, that's what we do. We help people build great businesses and great careers. So think really, what is it that your service allows people to do? Maybe to have a more comfortable home, maybe to have more financial security, maybe to have more peace of mind, maybe to have their plumbing work consistently, maybe to have their car run better, maybe to have their back feel better because of your chiropractic work or your massage. So the thing is, what do you do? In the world of people serving each other, what is it that you do? And then, what's the highest way you can talk about that? I make people healthier. I give people richer personal, emotional lives. I help people communicate better with their children. I help people run more cost-effective businesses. What is it that you do? So first thing is, you have to take time out of your life to work on your business, not just in your business. So that's number one. You must take out time to start to just brainstorm your value proposition. Otherwise, you'll just get caught up in the day-to-day stuff and the administrative stuff, and you won't build the bigger picture, and therefore your business won't grow bigger. So you have to take time out to do this. Now, the second thing, after you don't ever just leave it. You say, you have a kind of a workbook, and then it says, okay, the purpose and mission of my business is, and then you start jotting ideas down. What I've learned in creativity, and I've written many books and written many articles and done many training programs, is that the first thing I do is brainstorm with myself. I write down all the ideas I can think of. I write them down, and then I sort through those to find the ones that are best, and then ultimately I pick the ones I'm actually going to use for the title of my seminar or for the title of my book or for the chapters of my book. So understand creativity first is you give yourself a challenge. What is the purpose and mission? You ask yourself a question. Then you start to brainstorm the answers, and then you select through those answers to find the best ones, and you come out with the other ones at the one you're going to actually use at the end. Now, step two is this. You really want to get articulate and clear about what is it you do. What do you do in your work? I mean the activities. Make a detailed list of all the things that you have to do in order to serve your client and help them get what they want. And this can be down to details of running your office. It can be keeping your database up. It can be staying in touch with them. It can be setting an appointment with them. It can be following up with them to see how they're doing. It could be keeping track of some number that's happening with them, like their temperature or their feeling of well-being or the gas mileage in their car or whatever it is. But you feel could be keeping track of things. So what are all the detailed things it takes you to do? For example, when I was in the real estate business and I was a mentor and a coach there, I made a detailed list of all the things that a real estate agent has to do, all the major tasks, that's what you think of, the tasks, the activities they have to do to be successful in providing real estate services to their buyers and sellers. And the list was 172. It was big. So the reason you're doing this is because you will start to then be able to explain to people what it is you do. You won't necessarily give them the whole list of 172 or 200 or 100 or whatever the number of things you have to do, but you will start to say, see, when you work with me, here's the level to which I pay attention to what it takes to do it. Here's the level of detail. Here's what I do that other people don't. In other words, keep track of that too. What do you do that other people don't? What other service providers in your category? What are the things you do or your team does or your service does or your machine does or your software does that isn't done by anybody else in your business or very few? And then, here's the thing. This feels analytic. It feels very analytic. In other words, it doesn't feel creative, but it is the underpinning of creative marketing. The magic is in the details. There is no question about it. So the other thing you'll find is as you build this list of all the things you have to do in order to deliver your service at a quality level, you will start to build, this is a whole different payoff, but you will start to build a better understanding of how to organize your business and how to build job descriptions and how to eventually hire people into your business, because you will understand the tasks that need to be done and who you would need to hire to do those and which ones you'll delegate first. So this detailed list is also kind of a good management tool in your business, but it also underpins you being able to articulate all the things you do. Sometimes you'll even use it in a sales presentation, probably not in a marketing presentation, but you may make a list, let's say, of the 110 things that you do in order to provide your service, and you'll sort of show that list to somebody. In a meeting with them. Say, by the way, let me tell you, we don't need to review all of these, but just so you know the level to which I care about providing great service to you, here is this list. See this? These are all the 110 things that I do in my business to really deliver it at the high level that therefore benefits you. Now, that takes us to the third one on this. What do they get? Underline in your mind the word benefits and feelings. In other words, what's the payoff for them when they work with you? What do they get? What outcome? I do this so that you save money. I do this so that you have peace of mind. I do this, and in the end result of that is you feel healthier and stronger. You have more confidence. You have whatever that is. Start thinking about what is the outcome when they've worked with you and they've finished working with you, or even during working with you. What benefits do they receive? So you're trying to see it now from their point of view. You know what you do. That's your point of view. You know now, you're thinking what they receive, how they see it, how they feel it and experience it. That's the benefit. So all great marketing is about benefits. All great marketing is about emotional outcomes and payoffs. They feel better. They feel more secure. They feel safe. They feel happier. They have more peace of mind. They have more confidence. They feel brighter and sharper. They feel relaxed. They feel at ease. They lose stress, whatever that is. So now make sure now you start to tie that in. So it goes like this. I do this, which means you get this. That's the way you would say it mechanically. You'd say, when you use my service, I do this thing, or I do these three things. And then as a result, you get this. You feel this. You benefit in this way. So get clearer and clearer. So ultimately you're going from the big picture, your purpose and mission, to what you do, the technical side of it, the actual activities, to the emotional payoff side, what your customers and clients get. That's what all marketing is. All marketing is going from the reality of what you do to the emotionality of what they feel as a result of working with you. And the more that your marketing and value proposition, the way you talk, your sound bites, your headlines, your flyers, your website, the more that reflects these benefits and payoffs, then the more people are attracted to do business with you. Now let's turn to the next slide and say that there's some other steps to do. First, let's talk about you, because you are a key in your value proposition, whether you're a solopreneur providing a service or you're the leader of people providing a service you're a specialist in. So you're the one who was the auto mechanic and now you run an auto mechanic operation, or you were the one who was the chiropractor, or maybe you still are, but now you have a chiropractic practice. You have a bunch of other people, or a massage, or a health clinic, or a house cleaning service, where it does not matter. And by the way, there is no such thing as a mundane service. There really is not. Every service that people need is valuable. So even though somebody has to pick up the garbage and clean out the plumbing and empty the septic tank and all these kind of things, those jobs are critical and they're important, and they can be marketed in a way that has a feeling and an attraction to it that isn't just kind of the mundane thing. You want to get to a higher level of thinking about your business. So That being said, words are you start to become a wordsmith. You start to become a person who knows marketing words. You become a person of influence because you know. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be an intellect or you have to have gone to college or be literary or write books or any of that. We all can get better at the way we express things. And we do it by finding great sources for the words we use. And I want to just take you to me, the best book I have ever. It's in my library. I have it with me all the time. These are great words. It's Richard Bayan's book, Words That Sell. And he has a second book out called More Words That Sell. And in it, he just shows you all the different ways you can say things. So if you have a benefit, like you help people save money, he's got 50 ways you can describe saving money. Or if they feel more peace of mind, he's got, 70 ways you can describe feeling peace of mind. And so that book is valuable. Now, in it, there's a special part that's called Qualities to Promote Yourself. Qualities that promote you. Selling yourself, it's called, that category. Personal qualities. And what he's done is he's taken about 150 words that people use and use to describe people that they really like to work with. And so what I'm going to recommend to you is that you get that list, and Sherry, by the way, has a copy of that list. It's 2 pages, and Sherry can send it to you. She can email it to you if you will request it, okay, from her. It's just a 2-page list, but as a next level suite user and as part of your marketing support from Sherry and us, then you can get a copy of this. So ask her for that. Send her an email and say, I'd like a copy of the personal qualities or words that describe me, or personal promotion, words that sell me, personal qualities. So get that. Now, what I recommend is you take that list of 150 or 160, whatever on it, and you go through it and check all the ones that you think are true for you. That's step 1. Step 2 is go through and of all the ones you check, pick the top 10 or 12 that you think are really most true of you. In other words, yes, they're all true of you, the ones you picked, but now these 10 or 12 are really most true of you. It's really who you are. It's your strengths, because these are all strengths. And then out of those top 10 or 12, pick your top 5 that are most relevant to your business and the service you provide. Now you'll have 5 power words that say, by the way, when you work with me, here's what you get. I am this. I bring these qualities and this nature to my business. So it's a great way to begin in a very positive, clear way to talk about yourself, not in an egocentric way, but in a way about why you're so suited to do what you do, what you bring to them in the way of qualities. And it's different for different people. See, this is why the best marketing in the world is truthful and heartfelt, meaning it's really true. It's not just inventing words. Number 2 is it's heartfelt, meaning it's touched to you. This is who you really are. And you'll find that as your marketing gets better, your own confidence will grow, and your own sense of yourself and why you're doing what you're doing will get bigger and stronger because you know how to talk about it. And the words affect you as well as affect those people that you would like to do business with. Now, the next thing you want to do, so we have words that describe qualities, and you're going to take those top 5 and you're going to mix them then into your how you talk about yourself and what you bring. Some people use what's called a triple. And that is they'll put their name and then they'll put the 3 words that most describe them as 3 words, almost like a motto or a tagline. Hi, I'm Dave Jenks. Integrity, commitment, results. That's what I stand for. I mean, that kind of thing. So we call that a triple. Remember, in marketing, magic comes in 3s. So if you can always give 3 reasons to do work with you, 3 benefits, 3 payoffs, the 3 is memorable and 3 is powerful. So you kind of work your way down to the top 3. So remember that magic comes in 3s. Here's the next thing. What skills do you bring to your work? Now Sherry has another sheet, 2 pages, called Workplace Skills. And these are the fundamental skills that make people successful in their work. And of course, it varies by the work they do and what their skills are. So there's another exercise. Go through first, check all the skills you have out of that list of 150 or so. Check out all the skills that are true for you. Then go back and pick your top 10. And then go pick the top 5 that are most relevant to your work. So now you'll have two sets of things you can work on in building your value proposition and your marketing materials, the words that describe you and the skills that you bring to your work. Incredibly valuable, incredibly truthful, and incredibly empowering. Now the third thing to do is begin to build the story of your business. Everyone loves stories. I love to go to a restaurant, and on the back of the menu will be how the restaurant was founded in 1938 and what the family did and how they passed it on to the next generation, and where they show a little picture of what it looked like in the first location it was in, and then the next one, and then it kind of is, now they're up to this, this restaurant that they now have. But you get the story of the business, or how they started this little hotel as kind of a little bed and breakfast, and now it grew, and that sort of thing. So here's the thing: what is your story? What is the story of your business, of you and your business? How did you choose your work? This is important. How did you get into this work? Something attracted you. Maybe you had a mentor. Maybe you had an influencer. Maybe you saw something happen. Maybe somebody provided you service, didn't do it very well. You said, well, I can do it better than that. I mean, how did you choose this work? And tell it like a story. I was surprised. I would have never imagined that I would be a chiropractor. I would have never imagined I'd have been an auto mechanic. I'd have never imagined that I'd be running a pet sitting service. But I remember how much I loved the pets we had, and how much I ended up taking care of other people's pets, and how well I got along with these little animals. I love them. See, you tell it like a story. So start to make notes to yourself. Take a little journal and start to write down. Answer these questions. How did I get into this work? What happened? What were the key events? Who led me into it? What attracted me to it? What are the things emotionally that happened for me? What were my learning experiences? How did I get started? Where did I get my first job? Where did I learn the skill? Where did I begin to build the practice? What were the big things I learned along the way? What were the tests I had? What things did I struggle with? What did I have to overcome? What obstacles? So make it a challenging story. Make it kind of an adventure story. And then maybe my first business effort failed because I forgot I didn't do blank blank. And now I rebuilt it knowing that better, and now I've learned that lesson and it succeeded. So there's nothing wrong with failure, particularly as it's part of the story that leads you to your current level of success and what you're doing. And then answer the question, why do I love what I do? Why am I passionate about my service, my work, what I do? I mean, just let that flow. Let that flow creatively. And that becomes expressive of your story. So as you build this, you've got the words that describe you, you have the skills you bring to the work, and you have the story of how you've got to where you are. And this starts to become part of the compelling value proposition that you bring to the world. Now, the next thing we want to look at on the next slide is what do others say about you? Now, this is really important because this is third-party endorsement. So great marketeers are always collecting testimonials, endorsements, and references. Testimonial is someone who has used your service and they are incredibly happy with it. They love working with you. They can tell you specifically what you did and why it was valuable. An endorsement is somebody of recognition, somebody who others would know, like of authority or importance, who has endorsed you, says, you know what, I've studied restaurants, I'm a restaurateur, I go around, and this is the best Mexican restaurant that I've ever been to, that kind of thing. That's an endorsement, somebody who is kind of has some level of expertise or credibility or fame, and then they endorse you. And sometimes you can ask for endorsements and get them. That's an important thing. And then references are people who more attest to your character, whether or not they used your service. This is always, in your mind, write down the word references and say, at the beginning of any business, I need to get references. In other words, they may not have done the business with me, They may not have used my service, but they can attest to my integrity, my dependability, my intelligence, my friendliness, my good attitude, whatever it is, and have people write references, short ones, 1 or 2 paragraphs, and you can even say in your promotion, references upon request. If you'd like to know what other people say about working with me, here it is. And then, of course, testimonials, you get their permission to use them. So ask for them. That's the next one. Ask for testimonials, ask for endorsements, ask for references, and then use them. And then, of course, thank the people that provided those for you. The other thing to remember is let them tell you what was valuable. In other words, they will give you the words for your marketing and the phrases, because their words will be what they experienced and what they liked, and they may say it more strongly and better than you would. So the reason you get testimonials from people is, one, you want to be sure you're doing a good job, and then that brings on your third-party references, but also gives you the words and the language for your value proposition. Now, the one final thing I want to say right here, I want to summarize some things in a minute, but is that sometimes it's better not to do this alone. In other words, sometimes these kind of creative activities are hard to do on your own. For some reason, we have this kind of negative half of our head that when the positive side says something positive, then the negative side says, oh, that's not true. What makes you think that? Oh, I don't think that's true. What proof is there? It's that kind of undermining, and it is, as Martin Seligman said in his book, Learned Optimism, optimists don't have that. They turn off that negative voice because it isn't useful. It undermines their confidence and their promotional ability, certainly their marketing. So get a marketing coach. Get somebody like Tina Campbell, my business partner specifically, who we're offering a program called CRM RDS Marketing, how to build your referral database and how to market to it, how to build your value proposition. Check with her, Tina at masternetworks.net, and find out about how she can be a coach to you, or how anyone in Master Networks Next Level Coaching can help you. Or gather your own little marketing mastermind in your chapter. Get 2 or 3 people who you value. I wouldn't make it a big group. In a sense, your whole chapter is a great marketing mastermind because it goes on every weekly meeting, but this is more specific. It's more task-oriented. Get together a small group of people, maybe 3, probably at least 3, no more than 5, and you would get together on a regular basis every week or every other week, and you would help each other with your marketing mastermind. Go through those set of questions that I had in the last 2 or 3 slides, and do it as a group, and help each other, build your words, and use your words and encourage each other. There's nothing better than a mastermind group for building creative things like your own marketing, and not everyone's will be the same. See, that's what the group won't do. That they won't make everyone's the same. They'll tie into your specific one, and they'll help you be focused on doing that. Okay, now let's go to the next page, and I just want to kind of bring this to a close with this understanding. This is very important now. Here's the growth process. Build your database. That's number 1. That's why you get on board with Next Level Suite. Get that database, get it filled, help get it set up, get it organized. Again, Tina can help you do that as part of our Fast Track program. Add everyone you know to it. You want a database that you market to everyone you know. Don't worry about whether they ever use your service. That's not it, because they'll know people who would. Grow it every day. Set a goal. It's the 7th key number to keep track of, the number of people in your database. Grow it every day. Communicate to it. Now, once you start to get your value proposition, send out that monthly newsletter. Send out that every other week offer. Share the testimonials and references. People like to know of your success. So as you work with somebody and they say good things, put those in your newsletter. Put those in your communications. Do not worry about being repetitive in this. And enjoy that process, because as you get doing it consistently, particularly the doing it, getting messages, creating them, getting them out, don't worry. Don't get all uptight about whether it's accurate or perfect or could be better. Don't do that. Ship it, as Seth Godin says. Get it out there. And enjoy the process and the creativity. And Sherry, flip now, if you would, because I want to kind of remind people that all of it is right here. I mean, this is important. Next Level Suite is your answer technologically. It's got all the platform. It's got the CRM, the website, the email campaigns, the text messaging, the next call dialing, all these marketing tools that are right there in this one simple package with the support you get from Sherry and Master Networks. The Next Level Consulting, and check in. Sherry can guide you to who to talk to in Master Networks about getting Next Level Consulting. Specifically, the final one, I just want to say, again, to reiterate, over the last 5 years, Tina Campbell and I have been working on how to help people really build their entrepreneurial marketing skills, and we do it through a system called RDS, a relationship development system, because at the local entrepreneurial level, all business is relationships and referrals. That's why Master Networks is so powerful. So we have a 3-month launch program that will help get you started, including getting your value proposition put together, getting your formatted look and newsletters out, and of course your database up and running, and getting your first messages out. So you can contact her, Tina, at masternetworks.net, if you're interested in getting that kind of fast-track support. Final slide. I just want to kind of close this with a sense of what this is about. Marketeers and entrepreneurs are about vision and commitment. They understand that it's possible to grow a business, any business, if you're passionate about it and you know what it is and you care about it, and then you deliver that to your marketplace. Number 2 is that you're willing to make an investment in your future. You understand you have to invest now, time and effort more than money, although sometimes money, to get there. That you want to build this foundation, which is the infrastructure of your business, and that you do it by plugging into the things that are already in Master Networks. And that means that you get to use their next level tools and systems. You get to use all the training and education that's in the background so that you become a master of it. That's why Master Networks University is dedicated to helping people become really good at marketing and promoting their business. And then, of course, you get accountability and stay committed, because there will be stumbling blocks, and stay on track. And in the end, Sherry, what people really get is to enjoy the results, to connect the dots between the front-end work, which seems a little tedious in a way, and a little kind of hodgepodgey, and then as it comes together, they feel the power of the message, they get the results, and in the end, and of course, Sherry, this is our goal for everyone in Master Networks and for your Next Level Suite users, they get more business. So that's, Sherry, that's the end of my value proposition presentation for today. Any questions come in, or any questions that you have?
I do have a couple of questions. I know we're getting short on time, but if we can take just a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Great training, Dave. It just, when I listen to you, I think, wow, this is almost a little bit overwhelming and complicated. What, if you could tell me, would be the most important thing to do first?
It's get started. It's just get started, and the first thing first, really, Sherry, is don't feel overwhelmed. Just understand that building a business is overwhelming to most people. When you look at it, kind of like all the things that maybe have to get done. So you have to whittle it down and say, I can't do it all at once, and it's not going to help me to be overwhelmed. So let me get focused, and focus means set aside time. Time is your key. Set aside 2 to 3 hours a week that you block to just simply work on your value proposition and your marketing message. You do the exercises that I've guided people through today. You do those. Maybe part of that 3 hours is an hour meeting with a mastermind group to do it. But the number one priority, Sherry, is to set aside time and begin to make progress.
Okay, that's great. And you mentioned some marketing, advertising. What are your thoughts about spending money on those types of things to get business?
Well, I think it's tricky, and you don't want to do it at the front end. I think that you can learn over time by a little experimentation as to, like, if you put an ad in a local magazine, or you put an ad in a local device, or you're linked into a local service provider website. You can look at those, but I would most start with what I can control, which is my own database. See, that's if I were if I understood, I mean, I have understood because I've worked with it for over 35 years. Local businesses, entrepreneurial businesses, are all based on relationships and referrals. So put your energy there. That doesn't cost much. I mean, it costs very little to get Next Level Suite. It costs very little to get somebody to help you build your database. Relative to the money that will come, it costs very little to get some consulting services in building your value proposition in that, like the RDS. Put your money there. Don't look for advertising and costly promotional activities, even though they will promise you a lot of return. In my experience, you're better off building through relationships.
Okay. So what about social media? That's free. Should that be part of my marketing plan?
If it attracts you and if you understand it. See, understand that social media is nothing more than network marketing. I mean, it's nothing more than building a network. You have your group of Facebook users, or you have a Facebook group that's about your service, or you have a website that you promote out there that's about your service, and maybe you start doing some blogging about something that relates to your service on your website. So if you understand social media and you understand that that is the way you attract more and more people into a network relationship with you, and it's a quick and easy and inexpensive way to communicate to them, then yes, it should be part of it. It's another way to make local contacts and have local connectivity. Now, the one caveat on that is, though, if you don't understand that technology, then don't use that as your primary tool. Don't. Now, you have to have an internet presence. That's why we have a website as part of Next Level Suite. You have to be there, not because people will find you. That's search engine optimization and all that stuff. That's very competitive realm. Costs a lot of money to get up on the first page of Google search or whatever in a category, unless you're highly specialized and highly segmented. But the thing that you can do is that you can attract people to your website, so that all your marketing that you do, all the communication you do, drives people back to your website, and then your website states your value proposition. So you're talking with someone, say, oh, go to my website, blank, blank, blank. No, here's my card, on my card, here's my website. So go to that website. Oh, by the way, what's your name and address, and I'll get some information to you. See, you're much better off getting people's information than giving them yours. Rather than handing out business cards, collect business cards. Rather than giving out your email address, get an email address. Then you can send them something, and now they're part of your database. So I would say that social media is a phenomenon that's there. It's allowing people to grow, but it's its own level of mastery. So if you know how to use that, and you know how to use LinkedIn, and you know how to use Facebook pages and those sorts of things, then feel free to do it. The great internet marketeers that I know of really say that's how they're going to build their business. I mean, they do it. They're in it all the time. They're probably spending 3 hours a day marketing through their internet, but then they already have people in place to service it. So it's a great way. Ultimately you may become a very focused lead generator and use the internet. But I would say at the beginning, start back more with the idea of personalized, more targeted communications to a database of people that you know and are getting to know.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we are short on time here. If we did not get to your questions, you can go ahead and email them to me. Hopefully Dave will have time next time to address them. So I just want to thank you, Dave, again for being on the call with us, and everyone who took time today to be with us. And with that, I'm going to let you be on your way and have a great day. Thank you, everyone, for attending today. Thanks.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep, bye-bye.